As an Air Force veteran and someone who has served in uniform, I had to speak up. Right now, what is taking place in Los Angeles is beyond disbelief. It is beyond anything imaginable, particularly as far as them deploying active duty soldiers, active duty Marines to the streets of Los Angeles. This is an overkill, man. This is an overkill. That's not what we were. That's not what the Marines, Air Force, Army, Navy, folks like that. That's not what our job is supposed to be. Our job is supposed to be to protect America, to protect America at all costs, not to put us on the streets of America. That's what the National Guard is for. That's what the National Guard is for. Yeah, I know there was a couple of protesters and people, the cameras made it look like worse than what it was, and the president saying things had gotten out of control. But still, that's the state's problem. That's California's problem. Let them utilize the National Guard as they see fit. He has the option to activate the National Guard, but the president overstepped his bound and just went ahead and activated it on their behalf. It makes no sense, man. And I'm gonna tell you what really doesn't make sense is the fact that the president activated 2,000 National Guards to go to the streets of Los Angeles. Okay. And then out of nowhere, they want to activate 700 Marines. That's extreme. That is extreme. Why didn't they just activate more National Guard folks? Why do you want to activate the tip of the spear, the best of the best when it comes to our military? Everybody knows what the Marines are good at. They're good at that 1-2 punch, that initial punch. And they do a damn good job of it. But never in a million years that I thought that ever be turned against our own citizens. So I'll be interested to be a fly on the wall to see what the rules of engagement are for Marines and how they're supposed to interact with civilians. They were not trained for that. That's not what Marines do. That's not what we in uniform do. Yeah, there are certain aspects of military service where folks are trained in crowd control, particularly military police, and I think there's some components of the Army that does that, and everybody has their little small contingent of military folks that they can pull up real fast if need to be for some sort of crowd control. But that's not intended for crowd control in the United States streets. That's what the National Guard is for. That's what the local police force is for. You got the sheriff's office. Man, you got all types of resources there. Why on earth would you pull the Marines into the streets of Los Angeles? I'm disgusted as a military veteran. It's wrong. Any other veteran thinks it's okay, man. I don't know what the hell, which flag you raise your right hand to, because when I raised my right hand, it was to defend the country, not to hit the people in the country with the same right hand. This is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. I cannot believe that what I'm seeing on TV right now, and and the folks that are going along with it and thinking this is okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the one thing that people are not considering is the feelings of those in uniform. We need to be very concerned, because those folks in uniforms are not just robots. Let me tell you that. There are people just like us. There are people just like the people on the streets of Los Angeles. They just happen to have a uniform on, and they committed to a contract to protect the United States of America at all costs. But I'm gonna tell you now, it won't take much for those folks to turn against their own country. I'm telling you now, because some of those same folks in uniform, they're looking at the people they're supposed to be policing and activated against. They look just like them, and hell, they may be related to some of these folks as far as they're concerned. It's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. It's wrong. It's an overkill. God have mercy on our military folks. I pray that they get through all this mentally, because they already have enough to deal with all the unstable activity going on around the world. And it just makes no sense that we create our own unstable activity here in America. We got enough to worry about with China and the introduction of AI and how these folks are using these powerful weapons. We see what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. It can happen right here on the shores of America. It can happen right here. But no, we're too busy sitting around focusing on, some bigger agenda and using our military folks to try to pull through with that agenda. It's wrong. I will say it's wrong on any platform, to anybody's face. It is wrong. That's not what the military is meant for. Man, this is just it's so crazy. It's just, I knew it was going to happen though. If you think about it, he tried to do it in the first term. He tried to get the active duty military folks to go against his own people, but you had some real military leaders there. You had General Milley there. General Milley said, "Not under my watch." And for those who are not fan of General Milley, trust me, he did what he was supposed to do as an honorable man in uniform. He's the head guy over all those military forces, so he wants to make damn sure they're not used inappropriately, so we can accidentally start some fucking war or something. But right now, I don't know what we got up in DC right now, as far as the Pentagon, as far as any military leadership is going to push back on some of this. I don't see it happening, because they've laid the foundation for this thing to carry on for quite a long time. And keep in mind, we're only 5 months into the administration, y'all. We're only 5 months into it, and I I don't actually have skin in the game. I don't claim to be Democrat, Republican. Some people say, well, you can't sit on the fence. Well, the hell I can't. I can sit on the fence, but my fence is called, it's either good or bad. It ain't Republican or Democrat. It's good or bad. It's yes or no. You know, it's the right thing and the wrong thing. That's my damn fence. But I pray for our troops who have got to be struggling internally and morally about what they're about to do. And let me forewarn all of y'all that this is just the tip of the spear. Like Mayor Bass said, this is just a test. This is just a test run. They're going to deploy military folks all around the nation because they're going to do these massive sweeps. They're going to definitely increase the numbers of folks they're going out and looking for. This is just the beginning. And we got this stupid ass military parade apparently on June 14th, which is Saturday, which is coincidentally the president's birthday. It's also Flag Day, and they also say they're going to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday, which I have no problem with celebrating the Army. I have no problem with Flag Day. I got a problem with using our military folks to show the rest of the world, you know, the flex and to show our power and muscle instead of having streets full of armed vehicles and tanks and planes and combat gear. Why not have the streets full of blood banks and Bibles and books and, you know, medical supplies and things that people could use other than to be showing off all this fucking military hardware. Everybody knows the U.S. is a military industrial complex, and they're just trying to show everybody that we are, and to hell with everybody else. But this is the wrong message to send. It's the wrong way to use our military folks. And I pray that they would get through this, and I pray that some of our leaders stand up and try to push back on this, similar to what General Milley did. Eric Brown, MOBO-Media, y'all take care. We in for a rough road, rocky ride. Y'all take care. Bye.